Welcome to Gamehater, the show where we play games that were kind of dubious and see how they are.
Yeah, so this one is everybody everybody's gone to the Rapture, a nice long-winded title. Um, this was a PlayStation Plus freebie, so very fitting with our usual idiom. Um, I think we're perfectly primed to hate this game. By all accounts, it's not really a game.
Yeah, it almost makes it like a non-game hater, really.
That's true. Can we hate something that's not even a game? That is a paradox for the ages.
Well, we are certainly going to give it a try.
If it ever loads.
Yeah, seriously, what's going on with this thing?
No, we could have done our audio check while it loaded.
Yeah, so this is a game that, from what I saw, it actually has won quite a few awards. So it definitely seems like it's a pretty popular game among certain people.
And we hate those people.
Yeah.
So we've got a minimalistic orange
This is Dr. Catherine
blob.
Collins. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this.
Okay, something's happening
It's all
now.
over.
Yeah, we've got some kind of talky talk.
Only one
Let me
left.
turn my audio up on so I can hear it.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully we don't end up with echo.
There we go.
That's pretty.
I have no doubt that it's gonna be like a very attractive looking game.
That's how you get the awards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's probably so popular because it's artistic, not necessarily
Mm.
a fun game, but it
Right.
appeals to the artistic sense.
Yeah, games like that never fail to irritate me. I'd give examples, but I want to stay focused on this game until we've at least played something.
Right. You know, assuming we get a chance to, it might get through our normal like hour and not actually get to do anything.
Right. Just some lovingly crafted weeds and a sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling inspired yet?
Not particularly. I mean, I'm giving up Pokemon time for this, so
That would be a good caption. I'm giving up Pokemon time for this.
yeah.
Right over the sunset and trees. Okay, so I am capable of moving now.
Oh, so you're controlling this then?
I am.
Wow,
I
you're
can.
actually getting more control this early in the game than most Nintendo games nowadays.
That's true. That's depressing. Just pressing buttons to see what they do. Can I ride this bicycle?
I mean, why have a bicycle there if you can't ride it?
That's something about immersion, I guess.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not your bicycle. You're like, you know, a pretty stand-up kind of guy. You look at a bicycle, it's not yours. You're like, well, I'm not gonna steal it.
What sort of gentleman do you take me for? A bicycle thief? I don't know if you're noticing this. Some of these flowers are strangely luminescent based on the angle. Like the one right in the middle of the screen.
Right? Is there
Is
something
entirely
like
wrong.
being said in the background? Oh yeah, there is.
I'm not hearing it.
You might have to turn your volume a little bit more to hear it. I hear like a
Okay,
beeping now.
there's a beeping, yeah.
I'm going to continue to broadcast for as long as I am able. If I'm right, we should be able to pick up the signal right
Oh,
across
okay,
the
thanks,
valley.
Kate. It's a good thing we have like subtitles on so we know the names of these people.
Yeah. Yeah, I always do things with subtitles these days. Just,
We're going to keep working to try and understand it.
I feel like they expect us to pay attention to this.
Use them to find what you're looking for.
I'm not paying attention to this.
Answers.
So right off the bat, one of the games I think back to that I really enjoyed in my youth was the old
answers are in the
Zork games. Like I never really played the text ones, but like the Return to Zork 3D one. Well, it wasn't
Yep.
3D, but it was like, you know, visual and everything. And I'd actually be pretty pleased with this game if it felt like an evolution of that, where you're actually, you know, exploring, solving puzzles, and interacting with characters. And I'm wondering if that's what we're in for, because I actually
That
don't really
would
know
be
much about
fine.
this game.
Yeah, that would be just fine. We should do Grand Inquisitor together on a stream. That could be a lot of fun.
That could be fun.
Grand Inquisitor was my favorite of those.
Yeah, I
Okay,
only
so
ever played Return of the Orc.
okay, well then you should definitely play Grand Inquisitor. That is my all-time favorite adventure game. Are we just gonna be walking around listening to answering machines?
This is a special announcement by the Emergency Measures Committee. Due to exceptional circumstances, radio and television in this area has been brought under the control of the EMC as per the Crisis Preparedness and Action Bill of 1982.
Okay, cool.
Keep your radio and television on at all times. Stay indoors and avoid contact with other people. Do not attempt to telephone outside your local area. Do not panic and remain civil and
None of this sounds like something a video game character would do. Stay calm, avoid contact.
Yeah. But then again, we don't even know who we are yet.
That's true. Our name might be Kate. Okay, so let's talk about the overturned shopping cart with the emergency telephone just sitting there.
Yep.
Was there
If
a
this
reason for
was
that?
a fun adventure game, you'd be able to go into that thing right now, take it apart, find anything useful, and keep it.
Absolutely. And I'd have a shopping cart to carry it around in.
That
Yeah,
would
that'd
be
be
kind of the
actually-
awesome adventure game. Like, you're just running around the shopping cart in front of you. That's how you collect your items.
How has that not happened before?
I know, that'd be, like, so amazing. And you'd also be using it as a weapon, because you like, run over people with it.
Well, you don't run people over. There's usually no combat in adventure games.
Well, I mean, you
But-
could, like, you could use that in, like, any game. Like, you could use that in a 2D platformer.
That's
Just,
true.
You know, have your character running around with a shopping cart.
Right, playing Legend of Zelda, Link just has a shopping cart with piles and piles of weapons.
His bag of holding no longer works.
Magic has left Hyrule.
So is this a game where we get sort of like, you know, walk until like we get told things, I guess?
Ooh, I can
Whoa.
tilt my controller.
What happens when you do?
I haven't figured that out yet.
What if you don't have a controller that has tilt in it?
What?
I'm trying to do my job. You two will be the only staff on site for
You
this
know, there's two of
rotation.
us.
I'm just saying, if the main gate's power fails, then there's no way in or out of the observatory.
That's why there are backup
So I can tilt the
generators.
controller to summon
Oh,
ghosts?
Jesus is in this game.
Just don't you come running to me if you get locked in.
We can't have a rapture without Jesus.
We
Oh, that
won't
makes
be able to
sense.
come running to you, will we? You let us worry about the clever stuff and you can concentrate on
So what is with all these
saving
glowy
lives and
things?
changing light
I don't know.
Bradley,
I
piss off.
I tilted the controller and suddenly that was unnecessary.
Just because you're angry with me doesn't mean you have to take it out on everyone else.
I mean, that's what I would do. I would take it out on everyone else.
Well, yeah, if I was a first responder, I would be, you know, cleaning up wounds and calling the guy a dick for interrupting my dinner.
If I was a first responder, I'd be a last responder because I'd be taking my time to get there.
It's like I know I hear you, you've got a broken leg, but there's a good sale at Taco Bell today, and I'm a little hungry.
And you know, I'm in the middle of my show. I don't have a DVR.
Right, it's just so inconvenient. Saving lives willy-nilly on someone else's schedule.
I feel like at this point we should be able to collect that traffic
Right.
cone. And
I jump off a cliff?
can you do it?
Invisible wall. What
So
is
whoever
this?
you're playing as is a very cautious person who is unwilling to do anything that's remotely interesting.
Right, we could be pushing a shopping cart around with a military phone on it, with a traffic cone on our head as a hat. And yet, we're very slowly walking through the woods, listening to ghosts have passive-aggressive conversations.
When you
Whoa.
realize that you know you can't actually interact with any of this stuff, it makes this whole
Really?
setting that they built up kind of underwhelming. I mean, it looks good,
Agreed.
but
It's pretty, but empty at the same time.
yeah.
And you can already tell the gating is really obvious because it's literal gates everywhere.
Yeah. Gates that you could easily climb over.
But,
Yeah.
well, like,
Not that you do that in most games. Most games where you have a gate, you can't climb over them, but
right. This is the kind of dude who wouldn't even steal a bike or a shopping cart, so...
you
He's
know, I
certain.
remember it being
Really
a
good.
big deal in the trailers for Fable 2 when they showed the character jumping over gates.
Behold, he has the power of jumping. So should I be chasing this glowy light or
I would go
avoid
the
it?
other way. I mean, that seems like a
Okay.
much more interesting way. Maybe this way leads to a good game.
Maybe we'll like get to an arcade down the street and
On the
play-
other hand, you'll
Galaga.
probably like go all the down this way and there's like nothing interesting. And you'll have to go all the way back with this
true.
super slow walking.
That is true. Okay, I've lost control of the situation.
Except now the glowing thing is going that way.
So I guess we don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Choice is
Like
an illusion.
our defiance was the good thing to do.
Maybe so. We could have wasted our time going the other way.
I feel like if we're going down this road, we should be able to have a car.
Seriously, look at all these cars.
It even says, please drive carefully. Why would they put that in there if you can't drive?
Just to taunt us, I guess.
This is the kind of stuff you should be picking up. These are all very useful things to have.
I know, bicycle, mysterious books maybe, a bag, some canned food.
Yeah.
I mean, we're clearly in a post-apocalyptic situation, and we should be getting some canned food. Can I? Oh man, not even the button prompts.
It just popped open them automatically.
No, I did have to press a button. It
Whoa,
just,
you had to do something?
I did.
Wow. I think it's kind of hilarious that it had to do that tilt controller thing when this game obviously requires so very little
Right.
you doing anything.
Yeah, why did they use the most obtuse possible? It's in the phones.
Maybe they're talking about coins.
I'm starting to get suspicious about these glowing ghost guys.
What if they're beings that weren't raptured?
Maybe they're actually out for revenge. Or maybe I'm the only one who's been raptured, and the world only looks empty to me.
So you were the only one who believed in Jesus.
The only true believer.
Yep. Or
But I
the
did
only
believe-
unbeliever.
Right. Could be a completely different concept if Jesus was correct.
And I mean, if like you were the only unbeliever in the world, the only one considered not fit to be taken in the rapture, then you have to be like the lowest, like biggest scumbag in the world. Which I think the biggest scumbag in the world wouldn't be like messing with all this crap with the,
Pretty
not doing
sure
anything.
whoever greenlit this game is the biggest scumbag in the world.
I don't know. They didn't make
Okay.
No Man's Sky.
That's a good point. So I'm like shaking my controller over here, and
Right.
it's not accomplishing anything.
It's not asking me to do it though, is it?
It was. I just did. Okay. Why do I need to do it this way? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 buttons that I'm not using.
Right. It would be one thing if you were playing this in like the Wii, where like you just had the remote and that's it.
Right. Or you have to like draw the symbol of the ghost to summon him.
God, that sounds annoying.
It would be really tedious, but at least I'd be doing something. Well, they're just going to sit here and compliment each other.
So, if people are watching, they're probably going to be criticizing us because we're not really following the story, we're just talking over it, which is kind of defeating the point. But, you know, the people talking glowy lights doesn't really do much for me.
No.
It'd be something we actually saw characters interacting with each other.
Right, I do not care for this weird glowing light nonsense. And if that is supposed to make it interesting, you have to ask the question, would it be interesting if you were just walking around listening to NPCs talk to each other without any kind of special effects?
Right. Well, I mean, it does, not only does that, you know, try to make it more interesting, but it's also sort of a kind of a cheap gimmick because they don't actually have to animate the characters speaking. They just have this glowy light thing that they can keep using.
Right. These low detail.
Because I mean, you look at games like Uncharted. They actually put a lot of work into getting the lip movement right to match the characters.
They do. It takes quite a bit of effort. All right, so let's see what kind of clues we have here. Say no to Valis extension. Don't
Why?
extend your Valis.
Is a 7th tower really necessary? To register your complaint and add your name to the petition something
I hate
something.
this grate.
Yeah, can you get rid of the grate?
Can I bang on it? No, I am powerless.
This is an emergency meeting.
Yeah, they really should have posted it somewhere that we could actually read it.
Yeah. Everyone is welcome. Okay, cool. Well, we should go there then.
Yep, village something, 7 p.m. I can't
Call
read this.
Meg
So-
or Babs if you have any questions.
Yeah, they are not. I can't.
Something about flu and something.
Flu party, maybe.
Flu quarantine. What they are not telling us.
I'm impressed that you're reading this.
I'm trying very hard.
Yeah,
I don't even I don't get to control the controller. Like I have to.
right.
You're moving
I'm
it there.
just making it. Yeah, wiggle. Yeah, it doesn't help that I'm further away from the screen.
There's a raffle. Who cares about a
Yep.
raffle?
Could we win the raffle?
And there's
Here's
a map.
See, that's another thing we could take with us.
Hey, look, that's like the most interesting thing so far. Someone drew a picture.
It's that guy, some graffiti. Oh boy, I bet there's a lot of answering machines in all these houses.
You think so? It's a good thing that you're following in the exact direction where all the supposedly interesting things happen.
If only something interesting had happened. Ooh, a cigarette butt.
You know, if this is Fallout, you would already be collecting that. And you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get to turn it into a gun.
That would be the difference between running and walking.
There's a sign there.
Ooh, a bee. Let's see if the bee... Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that was a beehive for a second. Let's
Nope,
just see.
just a basket case.
Yep. And the bee is gone. Well, there are animals left. Alright, you have a
so it's
sign?
closed until further notice. We've got the flu. Oh my goodness. Please try the 7th Whistler. We'll be back in business as soon as we're up and about. From the Gables.
Alright, so we've got booze that I'm sure I can't touch.
There's lots of booze in here.
Yeah,
That would be all very useful.
right. We could be wobbly and...
Well, I mean, you could also get the bottle caps and use them as a currency.
Oh, this cigarette is still burning.
So something must have happened fairly recently.
Fairly recently. But I like the conceit that these people are... they all got raptured up, but they took the time to put their cigarettes in the ashtrays.
And notice, if you will, not a single one of them opened their beer.
Right.
It's like they just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, and so right, so they got caught up to Rapture. They put their beer down. They're like, nah, I don't need to drink this. They stood up. They pushed their chairs back in. They put their cigarettes in the ashtray.
Right.
Are we gonna find like some pairs of shoes or something on the floor?
I don't know, look at that table you were just beside. Like, they
Nope.
didn't bother to put all their beers back on the coasters.
Oh man, and they still made the cut.
I know, that's the kind of stuff that gets you sent to hell.
All right, let's see. Oh, I can't go to the bathroom. I guess bathrooms are a thing of the old
Well,
world.
that or you don't identify as a male or a female.
They didn't want to commit to character
Yeah.
sex.
The game did not want to assume your gender.
Right, because you know the way this character's acting. Can't go back behind the bar. You know the way this character's acting, that they would not use the wrong bathroom.
Right. I want something spooky to happen besides glowing lights. That would make things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I'd settle for anything besides glowing lights. I do have to open this slightly open door.
Oh, there's a tent back there.
Yeah,
Small tent. Looks like it's probably for a little kid.
probably. And there's no way in. We'll never know.
Man, if only there was a way to figure out a way to open it.
If only. I mean,
But
they
man,
could...
that structure is rock solid. There's like no way your character could figure out a way to get in there.
No, not even close. I mean, it is pinned to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we could be picking up a tennis racket and a tennis ball. Imagine the things we could do to solve puzzles.
We could be playing tennis.
We could. We could be playing wall ball. We could be making friends with orcs who love tennis. The voices of the stars. Oh boy, it's a radio.
The whole thing reminds me of high school. Seeing
The last thing we want to talk about is high school.
rush
It's time to get a little bit of nostalgia.
hands are shaking.
And why is it always Kate on these radios? Is she just some like itinerant DJ who is invading all the electronic systems?
Yeah, I know. Like, and where is she? Why is she a ghost person and also a radio person?
Right, like I was thinking I was Kate, but maybe that's not the case.
Okay, you know, maybe the cart was a bad idea, but a wheelbarrow, you can't go wrong with a wheelbarrow.
Can't even take the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow and a shovel.
The shovel would
mean,
make an
that's just-
excellent weapon.
You always grab the shovel. Got some stacked up lawn chairs.
I feel like we are like in a game that'd be perfect for some kind of survival horror game because there's just so many things around that you'd be using right now.
Yeah. Except, I mean, maybe we should be grabbing shovels and killing the glowing light guys.
I'd be down
So-
with that.
So I can already tell why this game won so many awards. It's clearly because it is a game explicitly designed for people who don't play video games but want to have opinions on them.
Oh. Well, you know, there's like an entire group of people who like to watch Let's Plays, which I don't know anybody who likes to watch Let's Plays. I mean, that's just absurd.
Who would do that?
But this is the kind of game that would appeal to the people who don't like necessarily like to play games, like to watch games, because
Right.
you get to feel like you're playing a game. There's no challenge.
I guarantee you are having exactly the same experience I am, except perhaps a little mild frustration about the camera angles I pick.
Perhaps. Oh, whoa!
Oh,
That door
oh,
open.
it did, and it pushed me out of its way. No expenses spared on the door physics.
Yeah. What a shame they spent all this work building all this stuff.
And I did
That does
nothing with
nothing.
it. I can make a microwave beep once. Can make some toast.
It'd be nice if the toast came out. Whoa! You turn the lights on.
Yeah, the refrigerator happens to be the kitchen light
I
switch.
imagine the light switch is right beside it, and you're just in the area for it.
Yep. There it is. See how far away I can trigger the switch.
Man, you got some freaking long arms.
I just have to be normal to the wall and within one refrigerator's width away. Perhaps that's why this character did not get raptured. It was her freakishly long arms.
Or his.
Hello?
Or his.
Hello?
Hello?
What's on the galore ground? That's like way more interesting.
You know, what's down here? If only I had the zoom button.
I can't really tell what it is. It looks like a bloody
Huh.
rag.
Yeah, maybe. No signs of struggle. Oh, maybe coughing up blood. There's a box of tissues there.
Yeah.
Definitely a plague situation.
Oh, cool. You can turn the TV on. Turn it back
Yeah.
on.
Hang on, don't want to have two competing sets of subtitles
Oh, okay.
because we're paying so much attention.
It's all right. Everything will be all right.
No, it
You're all
won't,
gonna
Grandma.
die, Amanda.
Tell me when you
Children upstairs.
We should go upstairs and see if there's anybody up there.
But I don't want to go to bed. I want to watch TV. I still
Listen,
talk.
we're trying to host a show right here. You can't do everything you want to.
This show is entirely based around doing things we don't want to do.
Yeah. These are the most boring conversations.
Get to the point.
I mean, these might almost be emotional if we could actually see the characters.
Right, a little bit of facial expression would go a long
I mean, like,
way.
you can't just. I mean, you can do pretty decent, expressing your emotions with words, but
Neil?
you need a little bit more than that.
Neil?
Right. And I think a lot of times, this is kind of my own pet peeve. I won't claim it's inarguable position, but a lot of times writers are tempted to go overboard on realism, which means long conversations that don't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like characters spending 4 or 5 lines of dialogue introducing themselves to each other and things like that nature. That's what a lot of this dialogue feels like. It's trying to be realistic and immersive, but it's just boring.
Yeah, like if you're gonna be interested in seeing this kind of mystery like this, you could definitely do a lot better, making the
Right.
dialogue a little more snappy, and maybe make it a little bit more frantic. So like you're only getting clips of it, and you don't know why you're only getting clips of it.
Right, everyone's just like sad and scared and not really talking to each other. Okay, so we've got a teddy bear. He's probably the murderer.
And bloody rags
Yep,
again.
bloody rags in the picture. So the boy with the quote flu was quarantined up here, and his teddy bear murdered him.
Teddy bears, I knew you could trust them.
Okay, well, the other boy died alone.
I keep waiting for the jump scare to happen.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. Where are they gonna go? Just open the door from across the room. Fuel! How far can they?
Yeah,
This
they
is
spend
actually
all
the
this
most
time toward
artistic.
realism, then he gets outdoors and he just swing open by themselves. I don't think I've ever seen any game where you actually like have to reach out and open them, unless it's like a third-person game.
Yeah. Okay, so we've explored that house pretty well. Oh, look at all these
God,
houses.
look at all those houses.
Why would they do this to us? Is that the bar we were just in?
And if
No.
this is like a game that's all about story and everything, then why would they want us to have this huge wide open space when we should just be being pushed from one place to another?
I can't think of a reason. I can't think of a reason for any of this.
Was that R like rotating or moving
Where?
from the sign? I felt like no, on the smaller sign.
Will sign?
Okay, maybe it's in my imagination. Like I
Just
thought the
no
R
vision.
like suddenly started moving.
It might have been
It
that.
was. I looked on the Twitch stream and it did. It was kind of creepy. It folded in on itself.
Really?
What's you doing? Go away from me. Don't come near me. This is people's property. You're scaring them. It's all over the village. It's got into everything. It's so far. What are you talking about? It's travelling down the wire. Dear God, when did Lester know it? Where is Kate? What have you done with her? Don't you understand? It's breaching the quarantine and adapting. Give me that bloody can. Hand it over. I'll put something. Look, get off the nonsense. Stop it. We did it. Shit. It's
Well, things are moving a little bit faster now, at least.
Yeah. Getting a little mad, and they knocked over.
Oh no,
Fuck.
not the paint.
It's starting to manifest itself everywhere. Stephen, come back. Oh, Christ.
So, yeah, this paint that fell down, but it's able to curl itself around. That's kind of creepy.
Spooky. Paint of the netherworld. Sorry, did I ruin?
Paint will ruin your days. It
Curvy
looks
designs
like the
from
paint was
nowhere.
trying to become the Greyjoy logo. Or the Greyjoy sigil.
Yeah, it's a little Kraken-esque.
Yeah.
Of course, from this angle, it just looks like
This
a giant
is what Theon
vault.
would do if he was trying to paint.
It's definitely a scrotum.
Yeah, it's jizz.
The shop is closed. Sorry, Dave.
Well, at least he's polite about it.
Yeah. So clearly I can get in this car? No.
There's a radio thing in there.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything.
It's like, why would you have this thing like their side that looks like you can do something with it and then you can't?
Right, all this unnecessary detail. Speaking of the Greyjoys, it's like the dinner scenes in Song of Ice and Fire books, where it's just a long list of what people were eating.
Yeah, but even those are more interesting.
Yeah. I had to
Do
look up
not
what a
attempt to
lamprey
leave,
is.
you will be detained. Why can't you even telephone outside your area?
Okay, and more importantly, why is this on the outside of the door. Don't try to leave outside and come into this house, or I'll be detained.
Yeah, the entire world is being quarantined. Only the healthy people are inside that house.
Well, now I really want to get in there.
Well, no, because you're in the quarantine. You can't go in there.
They can't tell me I'm quarantined. I don't even have a name, face, or gender.
Yeah, that's why you're quarantined. Like, you lost your name, face, and gender.
That's just some kind of discrimination. They don't even know what kind because they're
Look at
not
that
taking the
sign
effort.
you just passed by. It's a penis.
It sure is. So, phallic imagery.
Yeah, I mean, that's important for any kind of story.
That was always. I don't know if you played this game in high school English class, but my class sure did. It was all about finding the hidden sexual frustration and phallic imagery in books.
That does sound like it'd be fun.
Alright, and now I'm being chased, because clearly these glowy things do not appreciate me going other places and ignoring them.
Yeah, I guess maybe you need to follow it where it wants to go, or just be exploring empty areas.
Or it'll eventually get fed up with me and just come to where I am anyway.
If I was this person in this game, I would be taking one of those cars and driving where I want to go.
Yeah, why do I have to walk so slow?
Maybe everyone is dead. Sure, that might be a thing that happened, but you're the only person left in the world. You can go do whatever you want.
Yeah. Take a car, drive it through a few houses, figure out which house has the best mattress.
I mean, there's even a TV show with that premise, and it isn't very good, but it's more interesting than this.
By far. I mean, at least Will Forte is funny. I actually kind of like that show.
What, Last Man on Earth?
Yeah.
That's shut down too. So there's no way in.
I only watched a few episodes.
They're obviously serious about
They got
this
better.
thing.
Phil doesn't think it's Phil at all.
They add more
He
characters.
said he's been practicing
So you
medicine
actually-
That sort of
40 years
destroys the
and
whole
seen
premise.
plenty of Phil
It does.
doesn't feel right at all. There's nothing of any use on the radio.
So I made everyone. You start.
Yes, but to be honest, there's not really that much to discuss.
So are they having some kind of
This
AA
quarantine
meeting?
is in place.
I'm assuming it's an intervention for people without names, faces, or genders.
But people are
Oh
This is
no,
where-
we're in the wrong place.
This is where our character got cast out from society.
Yeah.
Since yesterday, and the house is just sitting there unlocked.
I'll never pick a name. Never!
All of Frank's cows died.
You know what's
in the
kind of
night.
interesting? We've been through all these houses and none of them have mirrors.
They're dedicated.
If no one's coming in to sort this mess out, we're just gonna have to do it ourselves. Barbara, get Phil to do a stock take on medication.
If you don't pick a name, we're gonna quarantine you outside.
Well, I mean, not all of us are lucky enough to have our names just appear before what we say.
That's true. Well, maybe if we said something, we'd get our own subtitle.
You know, if we didn't have subtitles on, we would have no way of telling these characters apart.
No.
Anything for you, Meg? I'll head out to the valley and scoop up.
I mean, I know it's more realistic to have people with normal voices, but there's a reason why, like, you have exaggerated voices in stuff where you really can't see the characters.
Right, yeah. You can actually tell them apart.
And this isn't a game where you should have to have subtitles on.
And again, everyone very gently put their tea down on their saucers and returned it to the table.
Yeah, I wish we could flip the table over.
Nope, I pressed the one button that ever does anything.
No,
Soon
you
double
didn't tell your
fail.
controller.
Oh, let's tilt it. Eee.
Oh.
No good.
This would be, like, so satisfying if you just knock everything over.
I know, given this big empty world, and it's completely static, I mean...
What if you are a ghost and that's why you can't move anything? Except for doors. Some doors. Doors that are slightly ajar already.
Right. I can't actually turn handles, but I can push doors. So only things that are on hinges, and... See, that one had a push handle, as opposed to a knob, so that one was no obstacle.
Going to the
Okay,
basement, that can't be bad.
If there's gonna be a jump scare, this is it.
No, if I was gonna have a jump scare, I would have had it in one of those empty houses.
I couldn't do anything. Calm down. I'll get back. It's in my head. Howard, quick. Ah! Father, are you all right? It's my ankle. Oh, Jesus Lord, I think it's broken. Howard, go and get help. There's no
See,
one
now he's
left.
screwed.
No
He
one's
just
coming
he
to
just
help.
blasphemed.
Please, Howard, fetch help. The light.
Oh no, not the light.
They're in the light.
They're in the light.
I can see everyone. In the
Hey,
light.
I've got that problem too.
Yeah. Whenever I see stuff in the light, I can see it too.
Oh my God.
And
He's-
weirdly enough, when things in the dark, I can't see it.
He almost has a body.
Wow. Look at that. Look at all that effort they spent.
Maybe these models will get slowly more detailed as we embrace ourselves as the chosen one of the Antichrist.
Yeah. I wonder if we were like able to look at her hand if we'd see the mark of the beast on there.
That's why they're hiding the metal, or the mirrors. And that Freudian slip was brought to you by Word Association.
Dun dun dun.
Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden, Metal. Very good album.
It's very difficult for us to fill the silence news during the long, long walks.
So that right there is a path that I can't go on because it's gated off.
Oh no.
In case there was any question of how much effort they wasted on...
Is that a solar panel?
No,
No.
that's a trough of some sort. This must be a pasture.
I was gonna say a solar panel would be really useful for us right now in surviving in this post-apocalyptic world.
Well, presumably the glowing light demons are merrily producing electricity for us.
Yeah, but they're not going where we want to live somewhere. We can't just go chasing electric balls all the time.
Well, they've got no problem haunting the radio systems.
I'm not sure if we should be following. Like, it tells us, like, go this way. It's like, no, I changed my mind. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's very flighty.
And where it can't move nearly fast enough to keep up with it.
No, those lights are fast.
Meg?
I think we just go where we want to go, and the plot will interrupt us whenever it deems us worthy of information.
My head's killing me.
Jeremy and Meg here are just like going from house to house, crashing every room they can find.
Kind of
Yeah.
static now.
I'm thinking we're going
I-
to have a little fun on the side. Look at her just laying on the bed. Like, you're like,
Kate.
hello there.
Alive, no one's seen it.
And he's like, hey, where are you hanging out here? Everyone's gone. And she's like, oh, I was just hoping you would find
That's
me
all right, Father.
as I lies here like one of your
Listen,
French
you
ladies.
go on ahead.
They have a very specific fetish which requires them to do it on the couch of every single one of their neighbors.
Well, I mean, if all your neighbors are dying off anyway, I mean, why not finally indulge in that fantasy?
Seriously. Well, they left the space heater on.
That's not good. Hey, you
No,
know what
that-
that means? We still have
that's-
electricity.
Yes, we do. I'm telling you, it's the ghosts. The ghosts are haunting the electric lines.
Yeah, well, somebody has to.
They
Although
got
that
bored,
thing
they're
that was
just like-
spreading, they're talking about it spreading through the lines too. So whatever it was, it's in the power already.
Damn you, modern world, and your electrical conveniences.
Yeah, it's in the electric lines and the paint.
Questions. God, there's all these things I could read if I could just look at them.
Hey, we saw that painting already.
Did
I
we?
can't believe that many people have a painting of flowers, of the same exact flowers.
Right next to a vase containing those flowers that the painting is based on.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what? I really would have a painting of flowers if I can't put any flowers in my apartment. Wait, I got flowers.
Oh, is this where we saw that painting before?
No, I saw it in another house.
Oh, really?
Is that like the only painting people have in this town?
There-
If so,
there's
whatever happened to them, they deserved it.
there's one person in this village who keeps giving people paintings of flowers, but she can only make one painting.
Oh, look,
Ooh,
they're slightly
this one's-
different flowers.
These ones have pink tinted petals.
Wow. Those
I bet
flowers
you
make me
feel
think of
stupid now.
Pikmin.
Oh, Pikmin, what a good game that was.
Alright.
Did you ever play Overlord?
I did. I never finished it, but
Ah.
it was a pretty good spin on Pikmin.
It was. It really gave me hope that other people would try to make games similar to Pikmin and didn't
I
really.
think Overlord got a lot of spin-off and sequels, but I think it's like got oversaturated and they didn't really keep up the
It did.
quality of the series.
No, they didn't. Overlord 2 was a step down. They made a Overlord game on Wii that was also inferior. And they made a new one that's some like Gauntlet style dungeon crawl that has nothing to do with the gameplay you remember from Overlord, and that probably killed the series.
Yeah.
Ooh, soccer.
Very disappointing when you have developers just fundamentally don't understand what the appeal of the original game they set up was.
Right,
You
and
can't
then when
even, you like walk over the soccer ball, like you literally
like-
stand on top of it.
yeah, and when they do that, they assume that the IP is the problem and not them screwing up their IP.
Right.
Kind of like how we haven't had a Metroid game in quite some time.
Failures all over Tower 6. The light is flowing like liquid.
Well, you see that so many times with like different series, especially when they get handed off to different developers. Like, I mean, you look at what happened to the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro series, and it's just sad because they had some pretty decent games in the PS1.
Yeah, it happens in movies too.
Yeah. That was everything, really.
Mhm.
Anytime you give it to somebody else and they just don't understand the product, they milk
Yeah.
it and it goes bad.
Sure does. And sometimes people make another quarantine sign. And some people make original IPs and they still don't know what to do with it. Can't think of any examples off the top of my head.
Well, how about this one?
Yes, that's.
The one we are.
Thank you for completing
we
the
forgot
thought.
that we were playing about right now.
I was trying to be subtle.
Might I have a word? Mrs. Boyles, of course. And will you excuse us, please?
See you back at Charlie's.
Ooh,
Usually
Charlie's
looking
couch
at
this
the
time.
lights.
Alright,
Barbara.
that'll really enhance the experiment.
Yeah.
Or the experience.
Mary's morphine.
Good grief. There's a private medical
Oh no,
records.
not private medical
Barbara should
records.
know better than to
Oh, if
possess
they're
them.
violating HIPAA, we've got some serious problems this time.
No choice but to
Yeah.
suspend her.
We are going to have to escalate
Your
this.
brother is
This
grieving.
isn't going to end at Shepherd's
Mary
Walk.
was sick for a long time, and I'm glad it's over for her. Go and support Frank. He needs you, love.
God knows what you did. He sees. I just break and overlook Mary's weakness.
Oh boy,
You, a man of the cloth.
If you have an
we've
issue,
got church lady on our hands.
Yep.
If you have an issue, I suggest you write to the bishop of the diocese. I have parishioners to attend to.
Who was the bishop? Can we find the bishop?
Well, if anyone's been raptured, it's the bishop.
Yeah, but he only moves in straight lines, so.
The bishops are diagonal. Is that
I'm
right?
thinking of rooks.
Yeah, you're thinking of rooks. Because
I
as we
always knew
know,
those bishops were kind of crooked.
it is odd that the castle itself is capable of moving in a straight line.
Well, I mean, if you play the proper version of chess, they turn into giant brick monsters, so it makes it hard for them to be maneuverable.
That sounds way more awesome.
Yeah, battle chess. Now that was a game.
Oh man, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was a game. Battle chess was awesome. So, in any other puzzle game, if this was a puzzle game, I would be completely sure that this arrangement of flowers was a puzzle.
Yeah.
But since we're playing this game, I will stomp on the flowers, and they will not care. And
Yeah, they didn't even get altered any bit, so.
let's go into the church.
If you can, I bet it's going to be locked.
Oh man. Yep.
Yep.
Is there another door? There's a wheelbarrow.
There's so many wheelbarrows. It looks identical to the other one.
How about you? How about you, church door? Yay. The Diocese of Stipperstone.
Oh, the stripper stones. Here we go.
Stripper
This is a pretty
stones.
interesting place.
St. Hubert, you dog. I can't fit through the door. I guess I'm not qualified to be a stripper.
Well, we know something new about our character. Our character is quite overloaded.
A little bit on the wide side.
Yeah.
Alright, we got some bulletins, we got some Bibles, which again we can't touch. And
We got some hymnal books, I guess.
tiki torches.
Yeah, why are these lights all lit up with glowy ghost thingies?
I've never been in a church that has glowy ghost things in the
Yeah.
aisles.
Well, I mean, I've never been into a church called Stripper Stone, so...
Seems like strippers and torches are just a dangerous combination.
I gotta say, like, if I could have a torch that glowed up like that, that would be, like, pretty damn awesome, though.
I love it.
It's kind
Although
of a
this...
neat-looking torch. Pointless, but neat.
It kind of looks like a PlayStation era torch that's meant to look like actual fire.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Okay, well, lots of answers in this church.
Yeah.
Got some hanging potted plants.
How do we came in here?
Yep.
Can you not walk through the pew?
No. There's a gate.
There's a gate.
I
Like,
mean, they
heaven
wouldn't-
forbid you
Right.
get through there.
I mean, when the church service ends, you are going to walk to the back of the church and out the door that way. There will be no going into the aisles from the back.
Someone lost their crutch.
Yeah. You might need that. I mean, that could have been the start of a side quest.
Well, I mean, this might be like a metaphor about religion being a crutch.
Oh, man. You went there.
The game went there, not me.
Why is this guy's
I
grave
wasn't
so much
saying that
cooler?
was anything. That's the game. It's like, it's bringing this up, and I'm like, wow, dude, game. Chill.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, if you're gonna start talking about the Rapture, you should be a little more respectful of the roots of that story.
That was quite the rake we just passed, though.
Man, we could have stepped on it and hit ourselves in the face, and it would have been hilarious for everybody.
Yeah.
But instead, it's just a rake.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have been a hoe.
So about that thing you said about actually playing a game from the beginning, I am gonna disagree on that. Because there is little to nothing game-like about this game.
I don't even remember what I said when I was talking about that.
You made a comment about how quickly it was that we got into controlling the character.
Oh, yeah.
You never guessed that the character wouldn't be able to do anything, did you?
Still, I mean, if I have to say, like, the one thing in this game's favor, the one single thing, is that you get to play right away.
For a very loose definition of play. Like, even if this was a movie, it would be a painfully boring movie.
Mrs. Boughton and the others, people need somewhere to talk, to feel
Yeah,
safe.
these poor actors, you don't get to see them. You notice in that box of toys we passed by, there's another teddy bear? I feel
Really?
like they're hinting at...
For we're in now, judgest another,
something.
now condemns.
Yeah,
Teddy bear.
that's suspicious.
Yeah, look at that blue box.
Yeah,
Teddy
he's
bear.
there. And that Simon toy as well was in the little boy's
Oh,
room.
we did see that before. And, you know, I just saw a stack of deck chairs. It looks suspiciously like that stack of deck chairs we saw before.
And this bicycle is straight up following us around.
Yeah. There's, like, people not, like, have more than one type of bike in this town.
There's also one bike manufacturer. He lives with the flower lady. Alright, it's been about 45 minutes, I think.
But we haven't even figured out what the story is about yet, except that it's about, like, some kind of flu ghost demon thing.
Some kind of alien invasion light show that gave everyone the flu, and they died a miserable death
Yeah,
while
but they didn't leave any
having
bodies.
sex on their
Wait,
neighbors'
Is
couches.
that a rubber duck? No, it's a
No,
teddy
it's
bear.
the bear. It's the bear again.
What?
The plot thickens. Do not attempt to exit quarantine.
There's a lot
I
of houses
cannot
where
get over
people are
that
being
sign.
quarantined inside of them.
Right. No, they're being unquarantined.
Oh, right.
Right. Giveaway?
Giveaway.
Not yield? Are we...
Where is this game taking place at?
Okay, so the car's parked, so he's on the right side of the road, which rules out England. So we're in some other English-speaking country, other than... But this says UK oil.
Yeah. Maybe we're in Canada.
I believe Canada, because these people do not have British accents. I mean, I assume they were American accents, but of course the Canadian accent's not so different.
Yeah. And this sort of seems like the kind of thing that Canadians would do. I don't think Canadians have more than one bike up there. They are pretty primitive up there.
I haven't seen any moose with saddles, though.
Well, that's because the mooses got taken away.
They got... Well, not everything got taken away. There was a bee.
Oh, you're right. That's the only other sign of life we've seen. Although it didn't last long because it disappeared.
Maybe the bee got raptured.
Yeah. Like, we were like, look, sign of life. And the bee's like, nope, sorry, I was just scouting.
we thought we were the only survivor, but there was also that one bee. And even he escaped before we did. Does the license plate tell us where we are? No.
X and T.
Meg, come and have a look at this.
Very inconclusive.
Charlie?
Well, we were looking at that map earlier. We didn't look at it in enough detail to see if like it said anything more.
Right.
It looks like someone's been collecting their own supplies.
No, these are kind of Britishy accents, aren't they?
Warehouse to keep the entire village going for months.
We should get a truck.
Well,
Maybe that
We've
person
been paying-
just parked on the wrong side of the road.
Maybe so, what a dick.
Well, if you look inside the car, you can see which side the steering wheel is on, too.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
Well, maybe not that car, one of the other cars.
Oh yeah, it is on the English side.
Oh, we are in England then.
We're in England. We figured something out.
That's one mystery solved.
And I like how we've been playing for so long, and this is the first either of us has noticed the accents of the voice actors.
Look at the building again. There's
Yep.
like a sign there, like a map. Is that the map again? Maybe it says something useful about what country we're in.
We're here.
Oh.
Well, Yacht. Yachton's a super English name. Tipworth
So this is
Forest.
like a whole. This is everything we can explore. Then the entire thing.
Wow.
Why
Who
would we
has
want
time
to?
for that?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
look at the name of the town, it's like Shropshire. That's
Oh.
totally British.
Yeah.
They love
Shropshire.
naming things Shire.
Is Shropshire county? I feel like Shire and county are kind of redundant. I'm not fully up to speed on British geographical delimitations, but okay, yeah, seriously, I can't do this.
Okay, well we solved the mystery.
We
I feel
we are
like
in
we
England.
did a pretty good job there. So we can
We've accomplished everything we need to.
yeah, we can step away from it now.
Yep. All right, so let's go back to the old title screen. No,
Well, I don't have a Gamehater screen, so we just leave it on this one right for now.
all right,
So
we'll leave it here. Let's look at the pretty sky.
Okay. So our
Wow.
thoughts on this game are that ultimately it wasn't a game.
It was not a game. So if we had been playing it the way they wanted us to be playing, we would be riveted by the mystery of where everybody went. And we'd be listening intently to
I
every
might have been
clues.
slightly more riveted if a game moved a little bit faster.
Yeah. If the dialogue was more interesting, the walking speed was higher.
I mean, I could see a certain appeal in having a game of this structure where, oh, share play stopped in 5 minutes. Why are they saying that? I guess we're
Right.
gonna wrap this up quick. But yeah, I could see like the appeal of a game like this, but it just moves so sedate, and there's just so little to do but listen. I
Right.
sort of like the idea of this, but as I was comparing it to like Zork, and like that's a game that came out in, like 20 years ago, and there's like so much more you could do in it.
So much more you can do. And a lot of the things this game has done were done better just as smaller aspects of real games. Like the ghost popping up and talking to you was very reminiscent of BioShock, where now and then you'd find some horrific scene, and then you'd either find an audio recording or you'd see visions of what happened. and it would flesh out the setting very nicely, but there was a game you were playing too. So this took like one feature that I've seen in other games and tried to make a whole game out of it, but it's boring.
Yeah.
Other things, like I liked how there were some environmental clues, like the bloody tissues we were able to put together that people were coughing up blood and dying or something. And
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the visual aspect, I mean, they completely nailed it. I mean, sure, we were making fun
Right.
of some of the props being reused, but I mean, that's inevitable in any video game.
oh yeah, for sure. Well, I was gonna say, like, Dark Souls is another game that has similar storytelling, where you are kind of piecing together mysterious things or mythological things based on whatever clues you find lying around, and you're doing it mostly for your own satisfaction, not because it's required to advance the game. And
Yeah, and you
there's
see a lot of games like that where they,
yeah,
they just establish it by having that kind of stuff to make it more interesting. But
right,
that's like a little side thing. It's because you're already in a world that is like inherently interesting to you because you got your character, you're fighting stuff, you're building up your character, so that world becomes more interesting because you're doing all this other stuff that you're kind of like, well, I'm kind of engrossed in this world already. I'd
right.
kind of like to learn more about it, but you
Yeah,
have no reason at all to be engrossed in this world.
exactly. It's good for enhancing an experience, but it's not good as its own experience. Um, Another game that I think is very similar to this is Gone Home, which I played it probably about a year ago. I think I got it from a GOG pinata thing that not really important, but you're this girl who comes home from college and her family's not home, and you're walking through the house trying to piece together the mystery of where every member of your family is, and everything turns out to be really mundane, but it's interesting because it's actually well written, and there's a sense of progression as you move through the house. Here you're thrown into this giant village with no reason to care about anything, not even like a basic premise being established. It's just you're someone, and you have to figure out that everyone's gone. So
Right.
I mean, really, I've seen the concept of exploring a story by slowly poking through a game done better in Gone Home, and I've seen these game mechanics, storytelling mechanics, I should say, being used in bigger, deeper, more entertaining games.
Well, I've seen these kind of story mechanics being used in like, one of those like roller coaster things that you get inside of in like Disneyland or something like that.
Yeah,
Where
sure.
they just have the story going on and like you ride around a roller coaster a little bit and then a little bit more story, then you ride around a little bit more. And
Yeah,
it's pretty much less like that, only you get to control your character slightly and you don't get the fun roller coaster part.
right, exactly. It's Splash Mountain without the drop,
Yeah.
and without the charm,
And the
and
long
without
line.
and the long line. But even the lines do that at Disney, right? Um, you've got the animatronics, and the scenery is all very immersive.
Right.
So yeah, this game is less fun than standing in line for Splash Mountain.
Okay, well, I think it deserves one middle finger up for me.
I've got to give it 2 middle fingers. I found it intolerable.
Well, I just got to sit here and like watch it, so.
Right. So that is a grand total of 3 middle fingers for Everybody Has Gone to Rapture. And
All right, and speaking of everyone going to do things, we are going to bed.
good night.
Good night.